Good morning. Normally, we would all be together at our Panther Days chapel, but unfortunately, we are not. But I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be able to speak to everyone today, even though it's not in our normal setting. Through the last 4 years of being here on campus, a lot of things have changed. We're facing a lot of changes right now, but I think that's one of the beautiful things about being a part of the story of God and writing our stories for ourselves along the way. One of the most important things that I've learned here during my time at York College is that the decisions that we make of what will write our story are the most important decisions that we will make in our entire life. God has chosen each and every one of us, and He's given us the opportunity to make those choices along the way to write our story. However, there's a lot of things in life that get pretty messy, and most of the time life, in fact, is messy. But the Bible is a storybook filled with narratives of truth, and there's some stories that get pretty messy too. In John chapter 4, there's a story about Jesus and a woman that has some pretty messy things happening in it. Usually it's referred to as Jesus and the Samaritan woman or the woman at the well. So first mess going on here is that Jesus is a man, obviously, and the woman he is talking to is a woman. They are speaking to one another in broad daylight, out in the open, and they are not married. At that time, that was not okay for that culture. And so that's our first mess. And the second one, Jesus is a Jew. This woman is a Samaritan. The Jews and the Samaritans have a long history of bad blood. The Jews looked down on the Samaritans because they saw them as being unclean and going against the covenant that God had with them. The Jews would do anything and everything to avoid a Samaritan. They would go all the way around Samaria to get to the other side, just so they wouldn't have to risk coming in contact with one of them. So as you can see, the story going on here is pretty messy. There's a lot of other outside factors that were going to make this really difficult. But Jesus intentionally immersed himself into that conversation with that woman. He knew the mess that she was going through in her life, and he still chose to go out of his way to talk to her. He knew that he could step into that messiness and show her God's love. That's the same thing that we get to choose every day. Sometimes life gets messy. We have our weaknesses, but sometimes through those moments is when we can truly experience God's love. We have the choice every single day. I don't know all the answers to life's puzzling questions by any means, but I do know that if we choose God intentionally every single day, we're going to be taking steps in the right direction.